Dragon Ball 2018, the movie, will possibly be about the original Super Saiyan God because we know for a fact they're touching on the origins of the Saiyan race. What exactly does that mean? We do not know. For instance, there's multiple Saiyan races. There's the Universe 7 violent strain of the Saiyan race, and then the peaceful strain in Universe 6. There must have been some kind of diverging point that made one group peaceful and the other group violent. So they could take this in many different directions. But I, as a Vegeta fan, am extra excited about this because I've made multiple theories about how the original Super Saiyan God is related to Vegeta. That's why the silhouette looked like Vegeta, and for that reason, Vegeta's gonna have some kind of something special about him that separates himself from the other Saiyans. And when I say other Saiyans, I'm specifically talking about Goku, because Goku's been outclassing, outshining Vegeta at every single turn, every single arc, and I think 1 year from now, it'll be time for a legendary Vegeta moment that makes Vegeta #1 again. Even though, you know, Goku has been #1 throughout like 99% of the series franchise, you get the point. Now I'm gonna read you guys some information that came out a couple days ago just so that you could refresh your memories as to what we know so far about this movie. So, as was the case with the last movie, original author Akira Toriyama Sensei is in charge of the original work, script, and character designs, raising expectations even higher. Now, off the bat, this is what's getting me to believe this is major. So, we know Toei has been involved in the creation process behind many characters. Now, obviously not the more major ones, but for instance, even in the recent arc of Tournament of Power, it came out that Toei, a lot of their staff worked on the character designs for like Universe 3, 4, like Universe 9. You know, a lot of the universe we don't care about that much. So, here's the thing, guys. If Akira Toriyama is going to be involved in the creation process of characters for this movie, that means that they probably went to him and they're like, okay, for this guy or for these guys, we need you involved because it's going to be major. This isn't something Toei staff can handle. This is something they need Akira Toriyama for because it's going to be major, right? Like, you need the creator of the story involved in the creation of a major character. Otherwise, everything can get ruined. The movie could still end up sucking with Akira's involvement, but if that ends up happening, we know exactly who to blame. We can't shit all over Toei staff or the man in the sky when it comes to these characters, because we know who was involved in the creation of, at the very least, the major ones. It looks like he's already done more image illustrations than for any movie before, so we can't wait for the film's debut in December 2018. Now, I just wanted to quickly put it out there that I don't think we're going to be getting a lot of information about this movie until, at the very least, summer 2018. Maybe then we'll see some scans come out, possibly some trailers, some more information, some teases. I don't think we're going to be getting a lot until at least 6 months down the line. So if any of you are on your super research, just stop right now. It's not going to be a while unless you have some kind of inside connections. Not me, not anybody else in the Dragon Ball Super community or Dragon Ball community as a whole knows what's going on here. We don't know a clue about this movie other than what they're giving us, right? Let's move on. And the theme for this movie is the strongest warrior race in the universe, the Saiyans. Now, that was the original translation behind, you know, the confirmation at Jump Festa, but there really is not much to go off of right there. We can't deduct that it's going to be about the original Super Saiyan God, that it's going to be about the Universe 6 Saiyans, possibly a combination of those things, something to do with, you know, the legacy of the Saiyans. It could just be about Goku, right? Goku's a Saiyan, so they could take that in any direction. But let's move on. From Battle of Gods onward, Goku and company have achieved new evolutions such as Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. Now, this is where I feel like they're going to push something major on the Saiyans because they're bringing up these transformations, and it makes sense chronologically speaking. So, for instance, Battle of Gods, we had Super Saiyan God. Resurrection F, we had, like, you know, Super Saiyan Blue. We witnessed the power of that transformation. That was like the highlight transformation of that movie. Well, now we're on to the third one, the Dragon Ball 2018 movie about the Saiyans, specifically about the Saiyans. That's what they're pushing as the theme of the movie. They're definitely going to emphasize some kind of brand new transformation. And I've got a feeling that it might not be mastery of self movement or Migate no Gokoi, Ultra Instinct, whatever you want to call it. The reason I say that is because it's not inherently a Saiyan thing. It's that anybody who gets on a certain level can start mastering their body in that way to where they have these augmented reactions that are just basically supreme to anything in their former life before they tapped into that hidden potential. You know, you could have the offensive boost, the defensive boost, but nonetheless, you master your body in ways that you've never mastered before, right? And I feel like that's synonymous with angelic ki and some kind of other system that we don't know about. Maybe they'll touch up on that as we progress more and more into Dragon Ball Super, because we still have at least what, like, if it's going to be a year, some 50 episodes before this movie drops, they've got the opportunity to do a lot. And of course, if they're working on it now, it means that it could, you know, fit with what's currently going on in the Dragon Ball Super timeline, and as well as in the future when this, you know, movie comes out a year from now. It's going to fit regardless of when within this 1 year time span. What I'm trying to say is if they center this around the Saiyans, why would they push a non-Saiyan transformation as the highlight power? A power that the Saiyans can nonetheless acquire, but it's still not their own thing, if you get what I'm saying. And if you think about it in terms of the timeline, Goku went Ultra Instinct against Jiren. He's possibly going to master it come the end of the Tournament of Power, at the very least the defensive portion of the transformation. Vegeta has not even attained Ultra Instinct, but if he's already taken an interest, I could assume, as a Vegeta fan, that they're going to do him justice, and within this 1 year between the end of the Tournament of Power, or the climax of the Tournament of Power, and the drop of this Dragon Ball 2018 movie, Vegeta's going to get Ultra Instinct as well. Maybe the attack portion. So the only thing that I could think of is if they take it in the Ultra Instinct direction, that both of them are going to master it in the movie. But I just don't see that being the case. It really would not make sense for them to push Ultra Instinct 1 year down the line when this movie comes out, when both of them have probably already mastered some version of this technique, for that to be the center focus of a Saiyan movie when the transformation's not even a Saiyan power-up. And they're talking about the origin, so we're going to be talking about the Super Saiyan, the legendary Super Saiyan, the original Super Saiyan God. Those things are more likely something built off that, and that's where I, especially as a Vegeta fan, get excited, because I believe there's a connection between the original Super Saiyan God Yamoshi and Vegeta. But let's keep going. And so it seems that this film depicts the origin of Goku and company's strength. They're talking about the Saiyans right here. The origin of the Saiyan strength, man, that could mean so many different things. I mean, we could end up flying over to Universe 6, meeting the Saiyan King over there, having a legendary fight against that dude, and then he's gonna drop like a history lesson on why his race ended up the way they did. And then maybe we could learn more about our race and we could start connecting the pieces of the puzzle. This could be insane if Akira Toriyama really sits down and he tries to make something that fits together with a dose of hype at every turn. I mean, imagine 15-20 minutes, we open up this movie, we go to Universe 6, we fight the Saiyan King over there, he drops a new power on us, he drops a history lesson, then he gives us a piece of information, we end up going back to Universe 7 to search for something, and again, this movie could be insane. We get all connected back to the original Super Saiyan God Yamoshi, give Vegeta that moment he deserves, and if Goku and Vegeta utilize Ultra Instinct in this movie, in some kind of fight, I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. But don't push Ultra Instinct as the highlight power-up when it's not even a Saiyan power-up. It's this angelic power that seems to be natural to the angels that anybody from any race that gets to a certain point can eventually acquire. I don't want that being the Saiyan thing of this Dragon Ball Super 2018 movie. And so it seems that this film depicts the origin of Goku and company strength, the strength of the Saiyans, who remain the strongest warrior race in the universe even after all sorts of powerful warriors from throughout the universe have dauntlessly appeared. And listen, if we're talking about the Universe 7 origins and how these great apes eventually gained the intelligence and turned into humanoids, and you had this noble Saiyan who worked with other good Saiyans to stop their evil race, you know, turning into a Super Saiyan God, but not really being able to do so, or at the very least maintaining that power, what they could end up doing is giving us like a perfected God form. The end of the God transformations could be in this Dragon Ball 2018 movie. That would be sweet. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts. How would a perfected God form express itself in terms of physical manifestation? Do you guys want to see hair color change? Me personally, I'd be cool with it being like a base form, but maybe some kind of like aura coming out, some kind of God aura, maybe a change of like eyes, pupil, something like that would be a lot cooler than, you know, every single color of the rainbow being added to the hair. Because me personally, I'm done with the hair colors, alright? Like, I want it to make sense. It could look cool, but it also gotta make sense. And if we start getting, you know, Super Saiyan green, Super Saiyan white, I think at that point in time, you could tell they ran out of ideas.